Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today is a topic that I feel very passionately about, and it is all about your mindset while on the GLP-1 or when you just start the GLP-1. And this is kind of the part that you can't really prepare yourself for, or like you can do research on it, like if you're watching this YouTube video, but until you experience it for yourself, there's really kind of no preparing for it, I should say. Because the truth is, the GLP-1s make your weight loss easier physically, but mentally, like you still bring in those old habits with you from before you started the GLP-1. So today I wanted to share some of the mindset shifts that helped me, kind of not panic when the scale fluctuated, or not panic with every stall or like every craving that popped up. So I have my hot protein coffee with me today, and let's get into it. So when you're used to diets failing, which I assume most of us, if you're watching this video or if you get on a GLP-1, you've been dieting for most of your life. So when you're used to diets failing, you expect something to go wrong, right? So the first mindset that I really needed to change was that this weight loss was not going to be like a downhill linear line. And I needed to come to terms that this wasn't going to be a, quick fix weight loss. Like this is going to be a lifetime and the rest of my life type thing. So because the GLP-1 slows your gastric emptying, it stabilizes your blood sugar. But your hormones, your cortisol, your hydration, and even just like your general inflammation, they all cause normal fluctuations. And that's what really causes most of the fluctuations week to week. Or if you weigh yourself every day, which I do not recommend, that's where you're going to see like the fluctuations. But again, I do not recommend weighing yourself every day because that can become obsessive and you don't want that. So a stall isn't failure, a spike isn't failure, and kind of like a plateau isn't failure. This is all like your body adjusting. So mindset shift number 2 is that plateaus are data. Okay, they are data points to help you along your journey, and these are things that you need to pay attention to. Because in the past, plateaus triggered me, like so bad. But on the GLP-1s, I needed to reframe my mindset that a plateau, my body was trying to tell me something. Because it's almost like it acts as a check-in point, like, hey, something's not working anymore, let's check in with my body, let's check in with my dose, let's check in with my meds, and see what's not working. So instead of spiraling, I needed to ask myself, am I getting enough sleep? Am I eating enough protein? If you're a woman, is it that time of the month? Am I just stressed out this week? And the biggest question, am I dehydrated? Have I been drinking enough water from my handy dandy emotional support Simple Modern tumbler that I love so much? So because most of the plateaus, when you see a plateau, it's not the medication or it's not really your weight, it's your lifestyle in that week or that couple weeks that you really need to fine tune. For example, one week, I lost 3 pounds. Well, it was because I was dehydrated and I probably wasn't drinking enough water than I should have been. And then it kind of course corrected and the next week was, stable. The next mindset is all about your relationship with food. So obviously the GLP-1s quiet that food noise or that like mental chatter, but they don't erase your bad habits. And once that noise quiets, you kind of face reality and you're faced with yourself, like looking at yourself in the mirror of how bad your habits or that mindset around food really is. And you start to notice your patterns. Do you use food to soothe yourself? Do you celebrate with food? Or do you fix your boredom with snacks? Or do you need a snack every time you sit down to watch TV or watch a movie? So that shift is that the medication, it now opens up that space for you, but you need to choose, or I needed to choose what I did with that space. And remember, even if that food noise disappears, but like those emotional urges still come up, like again, that's not a failure. You're still working through this. This is a tool that you need to use to fix your mindset for the rest of your life. Especially if you don't plan on using this medication for the rest of your life, or if you don't plan on, getting to your goal weight and then microdosing forever. Like if you plan on getting off of this medication, you really need to fix your relationship with food so you can be healthy and maintain that weight loss forever. The next mindset is about fullness and how you feel full now. So when you feel Some people, like when you start to feel full again, you panic because they just assume that the medication has stopped working. So again, it's all about like being on a downward slope. Like I said, look, there's plateaus and then you go down. There's plateaus and then you go down. Because the GLP-1s, this is a little bit sciencey, but the GLP-1 receptors, they can be desensitized slightly as your body changes or adjusts, and that is just temporary, and that's totally normal. So like it's just your body trying to find your new baseline of fullness, I should say. The next mindset is all about, it goes into not comparing your journey to other people's journey, but when you're used to crash dieting, like losing weight slowly just feels wrong, right? But on a GLP-1, slow is kind of the point because slow is sustainable. It also means you might have less loose skin. Like for me, like I only lose a pound a week, but I have no loose skin at all. Yes, I've seen, you know, people on social media, oh, they've lost, you know, 50, 75 pounds in a couple months, but like, no offense, but you know, you're loose skin. Like, what are you gonna do with that? And that doesn't mean that you will have loose skin if you lose that quickly. Like, good for you. But I'm also just like, it's frustrating that I lose 1 pound a week, but I'm also kind of glad at the same time, if you know what I mean. Also, losing weight slowly is just better for like the stability of your hormones. And also you have better muscle retention too when you lose slowly and you're not just losing, you know, 50 pounds like that. So remember, the goal isn't fast weight loss, it's final weight loss. Like you want this weight loss to last and be sustainable. Number 6 is that nothing ruins your progress more quickly than all or nothing type of thinking. Kind of the mindset shift that really I needed to get into was that on GLP-1s, you're gonna have good days and you're gonna have bad days. And like, I don't need to have perfect days every day. I just need to stay consistent. And if I have a bad day, and what I mean by a bad day is I eat bad stuff that day. So yes, if I am craving Wendy's, junior bacon cheeseburger and a small Frosty, that's my go-to meal. I have a craving for it, I'm gonna eat it. And then I might feel a little guilty afterwards, but at the end of the day, the next day is a new day and I'm gonna start fresh, I'm gonna start over and just try and be the most consistent throughout the week that I can. And the easiest ways that I stay consistent are just doing the easiest things over and over again every day. So it's having my hot coffee or my iced coffee, but having that protein powder or if it's the hot coffee or the protein drinks for the iced coffee. So immediately to start out the day, I'm getting, you know, 25, 30 grams of protein right in. Also, eating more slowly. I definitely take my time now while I'm eating and always having my water with me no matter what, no matter where I go, I always bring this. So I'm constantly sipping on my water and obviously not skipping injections. Like no matter what, no matter where we go, if we're going on vacation, if we're camping, like I do my injections. I will never skip unless I am stopping the injections. This is something that I'm never going to skip now. Right? So consistency over time is what's going to win. And I'm not, you know, white knuckling through anything anymore. And like I said in my previous videos, I'm never going to white knuckle through a craving or an urge. Still to this day, I believe that I have fixed my relationship with food where it's like I don't restrict myself or I'm like, no, I'm not allowed to have that just because I'm on this medication. Yeah, if I want chocolate, I'm going to eat some chocolate. If I want ice cream, I'm gonna do a couple little scoops in a bowl. Portion control is a huge thing. I'm going to indulge in those cravings, but I'm not gonna go overboard and binge because when you, or specifically me, when I deprive myself of those cravings, I can't stop thinking about it. Even on this GLP-1 medications, I can't stop thinking. If I want a Reese's peanut butter cup, and I don't let myself have it, I constantly think about it until I have it. And then I eat 5. But if I'm like, peanut butter cup sounds really good right now, I eat 1 and I'm satisfied. I'm content. Now, for some people, if you don't have that self-control, that is totally fine. Like, you know your own limits, you know your own mindset and yourself. But these are just things that I've done and that I've changed kind of in my journey the past 2.5-ish years on multiple rounds of these medications. So hopefully, you know, take or leave some of these tips if you want, but I think most of the things like a lot of people can implement in their life and on their journey. So if you're on GLP-1s or you're about to start GLP-1s, I don't want you to spiral, don't want you to panic. I've said over and over again, guys, this is not a big deal, okay? Like if again, if an injection site isn't working or if your dose isn't working, you can always adjust. Just take it week by week, take it day by day if you have to, and just tweak little things as you go, and you'll perfect your little routine and it'll work for you. And just know that like whatever you're doing, you're not doing it wrong. Sure, it might be, you might be able to improve. I'm still learning every day from the comments that you guys put on my videos. I'm like, wow, that's a good tip. I'm gonna start doing that. But most of the time, like some things we just need a mental reframe around a lot of the things, and most of it is just food related. So let me know in the comments below, what was the mindset shift that was the hardest for you? And I also want to know if you guys have any good tips for anyone that's about to start a GLP-1 or has already started a GLP-1 and is constantly panicking about getting into a plateau or anything like that. And as always, I'll have everything that I mentioned in this video, I'll have links to down below, including my link tree, which is like the full version of all my GLP-1 necessities and everything that I use basically in my everyday life. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you liked this video. If you found anything helpful or useful in it, and subscribe to stay tuned for future videos and future, you know, content ideas that I have coming up. Again, these are all based on my real life experience, my personal experience. I am not a scientist. I am not a doctor. I don't pretend to play any of those on the internet. So don't come for me if I am using the word science experiment. Guys, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a mom sitting in my kitchen talking to my camera. It's not that serious. It's not. But if you're just starting out on your GLP-1 journey, watch this video next and you'll find out kind of 5 common mistakes, or 5 mistakes specifically that I made on my first month using a GLP-1. Bye guys, see you in the next video.